Before I get into Battlefield 2042, I just want to give a big thank you to my new subscribers and viewers out there. You guys are amazing, and if you like the video, please subscribe. It means the world to me. With that, let's get into Battlefield 2042. Looking back, Battlefield 2042's launch was one of the roughest I think I've ever experienced from a big AAA shooter. Performance was all over the place. Constant stuttering, frame drops, and crashes made it very hard to enjoy the game. It felt like servers couldn't handle the load of 128 players, and it caused rubber banding, disconnects, and massive frustration for me and my friends at the time. And the new specialist system completely split the community. Losing that traditional class system made the game feel like it had lost its identity. It didn't feel like a Battlefield game at all. Lots of players, myself included, just didn't recognize it as Battlefield anymore. Maps were massive but empty, with very little cover and way too much downtime between firefights. Vehicles dominated everything, and infantry felt often helpless. On top of that, glitches were everywhere, and sometimes weapons wouldn't even reload properly. Hit detection felt broken, still kinda does, and UI bugs were constant and got in the way of the experience. And let's be honest, it wasn't just bad, it was disappointing. Battlefield had always been a series I could count on for large-scale chaotic fun. And in 2021, 2042 felt like a shell of what could have been. But it's been years. It's been a long time. It's been 4 years. And I've decided to revisit Battlefield 2042 in 2025 after playing the Battlefield 6 open beta last weekend, to see how it holds up after this rocky launch it had back in 2021. At release, it was plagued with performance issues, server problems, and glitches galore. And the controversial overhaul to the class system, like many others, I was disappointed. But years later, with updates and fixes, I wanted to give it another shot and test out each class and see if the game was actually good now. And just to add, the game is on sale for like $2 until September, so if you like the video and you want to give it a shot, now's the best time to do it. So what's improved over the years? Fast forward to 2025, and I gotta give guys credit, right? Yeah, he stuck with the game. So much of it felt broken, and a lot of it has been fixed and overhauled, but while it's not perfect, it is still... it's gotten better, right? I wouldn't go so far to say it's a great Battlefield game. Even now, it is a fun shooter at the end of the day nowadays. First of all, performance. The game runs smooth now. Stability is so much better, and the optimizations they made it easier to enjoy both PC and console. And the day and night difference is honestly incredible. It's a massive step up from how the game was performing in 2021. For the maps, all the original maps were reworked, with more cover, tighter objectives, and better flow. Well, not perfect, they are vastly improved, and what used to feel like empty parking lots now feel like actual battlefields. In the class system, they brought back the additional class system with the combination of the specialists, which gives the game some of its identity back. This hybrid system does feel more like Battlefield, while still keeping the unique characteristics of these specialists. While not my preferred type of gameplay be introduced like this, it is much improved, and I have to say, it's an acquired taste for a Battlefield fan. The gunplay, recoil patterns, and spread have been rebalanced, and mid-match attachment swapping feels slightly better, and some guns finally feel reliable. While hit registration is still hit or miss, it is vastly improved, and you can really feel it. Vehicles at launch and tanks, air vehicles completely dominated the battlefield, but now they're better. You have more counters and gadgets, and it feels fairer compared to launch, and glitches in UI. Most of the launch day nonsense is gone. Menus feel cleaner, hit detection, like I said before, is a lot more consistent, and the overall polish is leagues above what it used to be. A game that once felt rushed and unfinished has grown into something more stable and enjoyable. Well, not perfect. It finally feels like a Battlefield game. Not a great one, but a decent one at best. The Assault class, I tried out several specialists. Each one has their own unique traits, like the blast shield or grappling hook. I prefer the grappling hook personally. It adds variety, yes. Movement still feels pretty slidey, and it reminds me a lot of Call of Duty. I think it's a diverse change for the community personally. I thought it added some fluidity, though it takes some getting used to, ultimately, and I've had solid success using the AK-24 rifle and smoke launcher to push objectives. I really enjoyed the experimenting with tools and ballistic shield and the wingsuit for fast traversal. Overall, the Assault class felt very effective when playing objectives. An ex-engineer class, which is all about heavy firepower, gadgets, and explosives. I tested Boris and his deployable turret Liz with her guided missile launcher for vehicle takedowns. Engineers are normally my go-to style, but I have to admit, I struggled a bit with it. Still blasting tanks with rockets and setting up turrets was pretty fun, even if it didn't feel natural to me as like the other classes would. Support class ended up being my personal favorite. Playing the support meant I could heal to revive teammates, provide cover, and put up portable shields. Revving teammates felt enjoyable, but I do very much miss the drag and revive mechanic in Battlefield 6. Like in my previous review, it felt like something that should have been in the series long ago. And ultimately, the support class felt very impactful during matches. Like, I was constantly racking up points, and I found myself in the top of the leaderboard most of the time. And finally, I tested Recon. Personally, I've never been the best at sniping in these types of games, but it did feel pretty good. It felt almost hit scanny, click scan almost. Like, I barely ever noticed bullet drop when sniping, which I know Battlefield is personally known for. Like, these snipers are laser accurate. Like, I kept hitting shot after shot after shot, and normally I could never do that in any shooter. Like, ask any of my friends, I could not snipe for the life of me, but for some reason, I could just do it here. While not perfect, it certainly was better than most other shooters I've ever played. So it felt pretty good, and with my personal best being about 500 meters. With that being said, the Recon class was very satisfying to play. Circling back, one thing I didn't really appreciate was the map design. At launch, a lot of the players felt the maps were too big, too empty, and coming back now, they scaled back to 128 players. They made it its own separate mode. So now the main mode is only 64, 32 versus 32. And I don't know if I like this change. The maps are designed for 128 players. So then switching to 64, the maps feel even bigger and even worse to play. There's even more downtime between firefights. While I do feel more focused and less like you're running across an empty desert, I don't know. It's hard to recommend the game just for the maps, because like if you're sensitive to just a lot of just running and not seeing a lot of action, then when you finally get to the action and you get killed and you have to run another 5 minutes to get to the action, it can be quite annoying, I will admit. But there is one standout feature I think this is a controversial take, personally, but it is one feature I do like about this game, and that's the inclusion of bots. Not in public matches, but rather a separate mode where you can just lay back and just have fun, right? And with Battlefield 6 now taking the spotlight in 2025 over 2042, Battlefield 2042 is now kind of like filling up a different role for me, right? Battlefield 6 is clearly their big, competitive, community-driven game that DICE wants everyone to be on, and for me personally, that'll be where I go for a competitive kick against real people. Does that make sense? With that, I feel like 2042 is going to become more of a comfort game for me. I can go play when I'm like, I have several bad matches in Battlefield 6. I just want to win, right? I just want to feel good, lay back, and just have fun and just turn my brain off, right? And with 2042, I can just hop into a bots game and just have fun. I personally like to play on advanced difficulty, and you can just turn your brain off. You don't got to worry about reviving teammates. You don't got to do this, that, or the other thing. You can just shoot and have fun. And it might be a hot take, but it's good for practicing sniping, and there's no stress with having to deal with sweaty lobbies, and I don't know, it's just a relaxing experience, and all the footage you're seeing here is going to be playing bots, because frankly, I've had a hard time finding games for this game. Like, I don't want to wait 10 minutes to find a match. It's just not worth waiting that long. And credit where credit's due, DICE actually stuck with 2042 far longer than I thought they ever would. They're still releasing new content. Like, even last week, they released the new map, I'm pretty sure, new weapons, assault rifle, and sniper. And while I don't like the live service model nowadays, it is what it is, right? Like, that's just the time we live in. It feels like I'm growing into it. Battlefield 24, I'm growing into it. And if you left at launch and never came back, I think you'd barely recognize the game now. And I think it's definitely worth your time, especially now since it's on sale for like $4, I think. And at my final thoughts after spending like time with each class, revisiting the maps and messing around with bots, I can confidently say 2042 has come a long way since launch. Sometimes it captures that classic Battlefield feeling, especially with public lobbies with real people. And other times it feels very different with like the specialist classes and all this other stuff that just doesn't feel very Battlefield to me. Well, overall, it's not as bad as it once was. In fact, I can confidently call it a solid shooter and a solid multiplayer game, purely based on how much fun I had playing it this past week. And it may not be the series' crown jewel, but I think with how bad it was compared to 2021, it's come a long way. And the turnaround is quite impressive. It was once a huge disappointment, now it's become a quite literally a comfort game for me. I can come back and play and just have fun. Even as Battlefield 6 takes the spotlight, I think I'll keep playing 2042. Thanks for watching.